Have you ever felt like you were invisible in your own family? That's how I felt every holiday season. My mom would spend hours making perfect pies and Pinterest-worthy decorations, and my dad only seemed to care about his football games. My little sister, Leela, got spoiled rotten because she was the baby, while I got stuck with lame chores like untangling Christmas lights and dealing with the turkey's gross giblets. This year was the worst. It was Christmas Eve, and no one even noticed when I said I wasn't hungry and skipped dinner. They didn't care when I muttered, "I'm done with this," grabbed my coat, and walked out into the cold night. At first, I didn't have a plan. I just knew I couldn't stay. I stuffed a granola bar and a water bottle into my backpack earlier, just in case. I figured I'd walk to the train station, may catch a ride to the city. But then, it started to snow, those big, fluffy flakes that look pretty until you realize they're soaking through your sneakers. By the time I made it to the park, my fingers were frozen, and my anger was fading into something worse: regret. That's when I met the first stranger. He was sitting on a bench under the park's flickering holiday lights, strumming a guitar and singing softly to himself. His clothes were worn, and his guitar case had a few coins in it. I almost kept walking, but something about his music made me stop. "Don't you have somewhere to be?" he asked without looking up. I shrugged. "I could ask you the same thing." He smiled at that and patted the bench beside him. "Fair enough. Sit a while." I hesitated but sat down. He told me his name was Luis. He used to work in an office, but after losing his job last year, he found joy in playing music for people who needed to hear it. "Holidays aren't about the stuff," he said, strumming a soft chord. "It's about the people you share them with, even strangers." That stuck with me as I left the park. The second stranger was a woman with a toddler on her hip, standing outside a closed diner. The kid was crying, and she looked frazzled. "Are you okay?" I asked, surprising myself. "No," she said, tears filling her eyes. "I missed the last bus home, and my phone died." I offered her my granola bar and water. She thanked me like I'd handed her a 5-course meal. "Christmas isn't about big gestures," she said, holding her sleeping son tightly. "It's the small things that remind you people care." By the time I left her, I felt lighter. The third stranger was a group of teenagers my age, singing carols outside a shelter. They pulled me into their circle without asking who I was or why I was there. For the first time in weeks, I laughed. "We do this every year," one girl explained. "Not for the free cocoa or the attention, but because sometimes people just need a reason to smile." It was past midnight when I realized where I needed to be. My toes were numb, my nose was red, and my heart felt fuller than it had in years. When I opened the front door, my mom gasped. "Where were you?" she cried, pulling me into a hug. "Out," I mumbled, suddenly feeling embarrassed. "Just thinking." Dad came out of the kitchen, looking relieved, and even Leela waddled over in her mismatched pajamas. "We were worried," she said, handing me a lopsided sugar cookie. As I sat down with them by the glowing tree, realized something. The holidays weren't about perfect pies or entangled lights. They were about people, flawed, messy, perfect people who loved each other anyway. And this time, I wasn't invisible. I was home. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching.